Today on Once Upon a Time, we talk about death. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Every time.
Oh. Blake, you're killing
As
me.
it's ups and downs.
No. No, just no.
Sometimes up.
Hello, Oncers. Welcome back to AFTERBUZZ TV.
Outnumber the downs.
We're doing the episode Last Rites.
Last Rites.
I can't handle this right now.
Oh no, my song
legit
choice.
can't
My
handle
song
this.
choice was too much. It was too much to handle.
As you can tell, I'm actually very emotionally distraught right now, so Blake, introduce yourself.
All right, hi everyone. I am Blake McIver, and this is Marisa Serafini. You can follow me at Blake McIver, and you can follow Marisa at Serafini TV. Correct?
Yes. I don't know if I should be leading this episode, but...
It's okay.
Okay, Last Rites. What were your thoughts?
I mean, overall thoughts were kind of your face says it all. She's crying for those of you who are listening and not watching.
I'm emotional. The Kleenex box is over there. I might have to grab it.
We might have to go get it for you. Yeah, no, it was a tragedy. It was a tragedy in 3 parts.
I literally, I have words, but yet I'm rendered speechless.
Right.
I really don't know what to say. But other than it was I don't want to say it was a great episode because they killed Robin.
They done you wrong.
They did Regina wrong.
They did.
Like, oh man, we'll get into it, but
Yes.
I'm trying to collect myself.
Your
Once there's
thoughts.
so bear with me. I'm sure I'm not the only one like this right now. But Outlaw Queen, we got it. But then yet they took
And
it
was
away from
ripped
us.
away from us.
They literally ripped it away from us. Which is so mean, Oncers. So mean. I can't. I literally can't. Okay. I'm good. And collect yourself. Okay.
There we go.
Let's start with, oh my goodness. Arthur comes back.
Arthur. The return of the dashing King Arthur.
Yes. Were you happy to see him?
I was happy to see him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
We
like,
see he's on his, he's trying to escape. He's still like that shady man that we all knew.
yeah, no, I mean, he's not a good guy particularly, but at least he's aware at this point. At least he's self-aware enough to know, I'm a bad king.
But what did you think of Hades snapping his neck?
I mean, I was
Done.
pretty certain that, like, that just meant, okay, you're going right to the underworld. Like, do not pass go, do not collect 200 coins.
Yeah, I was more taken by like the whole neck snapping sound effect, which is always the worst sound you could possibly hear. Or
It was, and since we watched the show in closed caption, when it literally made that sound and says, neck snaps. It's aggressive.
Yeah, it was very...
Dear Hades, there are
was.
other ways.
No, but I think that was very much in the Hades vein.
Yes. Well, we needed to know that he has truly reached the evil place.
Yeah, but that pretty much sends, literally, like you said, that sends him straight down to Underworld, which, of course, who's still in Underworld is Hook.
Yeah.
Did
just
you
hanging
like
out
this?
at Blind Witch's Diner.
Yeah, I love how it's not Granny's, it's Blind Witches.
Well,
Not yet.
there's more.
Granny's sticking around, you guys.
Yeah.
But what did you think of this unlikely bromance
Stubble
pairing?
sandwich, I think is what I'll follow Cruella's lead and call it the stubble sandwich
Amazing.
because that kind of gave me life. Blind Witch called it a bromance.
Bromance, yes.
I was here for it. I have to say I was here for it.
I knew I smelled the bromance.
2 dashing men just doing dashing things. I'm into it. That's kind of great.
Right, I love how Cruella was like, seriously, back up. Like, what is happening right
let
now?
me take
Like,
this all in.
This is all...
I would probably have been the same way,
like,
and I definitely would have been
too
having a
much.
martini at Blind Witch's.
I think Cruella was already drinking her gin.
She was. It was good, straight up.
But yeah, they realize that they have to find... Hook wants to find the weakness between Hades.
Yes,
Because
because all gods do have a weakness.
Yes. And so that sends them on a quest, quote unquote, because Arthur, it's always a quest. When you go on a mission, it's a quest instead.
Yeah.
But that sends them to try to find the book. And of course, I found it was way too simple how they knew where the book was going to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Cruella was just there with the information, just very easily.
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh yeah, I put it in the River of Souls, love. But that I thought that was going to be a lot more difficult than it was, because the river is kind of huge, and there's.
Well, they had their challenge.
I mean, they did. They had their one demon that.
2. Or was it the same one?
I don't know. Maybe it was 2, because he did zap. I think it was. I think you're right.
One,
it was
and
2.
I think another one just like came out of the blue.
Yeah, it was 2.
But I think it was actually before that they had they went to go search for the pages, and they realized it was in the throne.
Oh yeah, that's right. I skipped ahead.
Again, that was still a little too simple.
Yeah, just King Arthur. When I needed to do shady things, I kept it in my throne.
Yeah.
I'm like creepy.
Somewhere
okay, sir,
where,
you're creepy.
Like, no one would touch.
Did Guinevere know about this?
Right? Like, what crazy and nefarious things are you hiding in your throne? Not that we'll ever find out.
I don't want to know.
But yeah, that sends the pages. Well, they get the pages, and then that sends them to that secondary layer of Hades, and then they get the book. Have to fight off those
the 2
spirits.
demon spirits.
Mm-hmm. But then they kind of Hook figures out a way to get the pages, or like up to Emma.
Right. It was like as soon as Hook had the book in his hands with the loose pages, they somehow existed in both realms.
Yeah, I think he probably like put it together in the book, which kind of like transcended itself up to the real Storybrooke. And then how Emma got it, it was so Book of Shadows Charmed reference, how it just opened conveniently to the exact page that they needed during a time of desperate need.
Right, even when she tried to put it away.
In Charmed in Book of Shadows. That was the magic of the Book of Shadows. But yeah, again, I thought this was too simple.
Yeah, it was. We were expected to go with a lot there. Like, we were just expected to accept that, oh yeah, sure. As soon as he married the pages with the book, Emma would see them and all of that. Like, what was that magic? Was that the author's magic? Was that the Quill's magic?
Or was that
questions?
The magic of the underworld versus Storybrooke? I have a lot of questions, guys. A lot happened in this episode.
So much.
And I'm just emotionally all over the place that I can't think straight.
I get it.
But then we see so they had that moment, and then Hook, because he actually helped Emma during this, his kind of unfinished business, he passes on.
Yeah.
To heaven. But we actually get to see what was beyond, where, we always see people go into like their happy place.
Right. Basically.
Basically.
Yeah.
But we actually get to see Hook's, entering of his world. And then we see Zeus.
Which was a colonnade with Zeus at the end of it. And not a Zeus that we expected.
No.
Not a big bearded Santa Claus looking Zeus with large pectorals. Yeah. A cute young twinkish Zeus. I was not mad at it. He was precious. But I was like, it was just odd to me, because I was like...
It was odd to me too. I think because you and I are so conditioned to the Disney animation of Hercules.
We stand hard for
Hercules. We expected a burly man.
Big guy. We expected King Triton with legs.
Yeah, with like Rip Torn's
voice. Son.
Son. I kind of wanted that.
Yeah.
But yet,
instead we got
Once Upon a Time. I find
handsome, strapping young lad.
I know. I find it amazing how Once Upon a Time they cast all these iconic characters, quote unquote, for us and people who grew up with the stories and movies and whatever, and yet they always seem like complete opposite of what they should be.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Hades has been the closest to
pretty
the
much
animation than
that's very
many
true.
of our characters.
But I feel like for Zeus, not just the movie, but just like the lore itself of Zeus.
Yeah, just Greek mythology in general.
He is a very big presence, physically presence, and like he commanded a dominating presence.
Yeah.
And this character on once, I didn't see that.
Well, and even when you go back to like Grecian art, Zeus is always depicted with like a large beard and
yeah, like
the big hair, the big Greek hair,
very statuesque, burly man.
Yeah. And older, much older, always.
With probably way more life experience.
Yeah.
But
oh well.
But I mean,
cute Zeus was cute.
I think the location they were in, I was like, it was pretty cool. It's with those columns.
Oh yeah.
And whatnot. But then pretty much Zeus is like, hey, you helped Emma and whatnot. I'm here to lead you wherever you may go. And apparently it sends Hook back to Emma.
Back to Storybrooke.
Back to Storybrooke because he did what he needed to do and he got a second chance.
Yeah, Zeus gave him
like
a second
this?
chance. I did like this. I did. I don't know if I bought it 100%, but I liked it. We got us to the resolve we needed. You know? And they were sweet at the end.
Yeah. Because this was after everything that went down, you guys. We'll get to it, trust me. But I just forgot the fact that I had to keep writing notes
You just sort
for
of
the rest
blocked
of the
it.
episode.
You're like, oh, Emma got a happy ending. Good for her.
Good for her.
It was nice, though, to see that because we've been waiting for so many weeks for them to be back together. So it was lovely.
Yeah, and that took forever. And yet, the one episode with Outlaw Queen that we haven't had in forever, they took it away faster than it was, but...
Ripped from us. All right, well, that's our next
takes
topic,
us to,
right?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so we're in Storybrooke, and Zelina and Hades, of course, they're back together, banding up in the Storybrooke. But the rest of the Charmings are after Hades. They're doing research in the library.
Right.
And they're trying to find the weakness. And that's where, weakness of Hades, and that's where, they realize, oh, hey, the Olympian Crystal. Did you like the Olympian Crystal? Like how that played into the story?
Yeah, because I liked it. Honestly, I wasn't convinced of it until we saw it in the book, and then I was like seeing it in Zeus's hand like a lightning bolt. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I can buy that. Like the lightning bolts or the magical crystals of Olympus. Like, okay, it's a stretch, but I'm with it.
I like that too. I immediately thought Zeus's lightning bolts, and then the fact that it represented enlightenment. I was like, okay, it's a physical difference, but Hades' version.
Right. Exactly.
Cool. So I like
I could buy it.
They use that element. But what did you think of Regina going, trying to help Zelina with her Hades problem, quote unquote?
Yeah.
Did you like this logic?
My problem is I don't think there's enough logic there. And I never want to go against Regina's better judgment. However, I kind of thought Robin had a point in their little tiff of when he said to her, well, you deserved a second chance. She doesn't necessarily.
Yeah.
Even though he went back on that later in the episode. I kind of agreed with him in their little spat early in the episode. I was kind of like, that's like a real fight right there. That's a real couples fight.
I thought that too. I was like,
I think I wrote down lover squirrel. I did.
I thought the exact same way. Like, you and I are usually on the same page. But I was like, this was a real argument between these two.
Yeah.
They'll eventually kiss and make up.
Absolutely.
Which they did. And I like the second time, because we saw Regina. She apologized twice.
Yes.
For trusting Zelina with Robin's baby.
Mm-hmm.
Again, girl, love you. But we've been telling you that's not a good idea.
This isn't rocket science here, Regina.
But at least Regina knew about it, and she apologized not once, but twice. And she seemed sincerely apologetic. She knew her actions, and she was actually really legitimately trying to make up for it.
Mm-hmm. Regina owns her mistakes.
She does.
I mean, we're like the Regina choir here, so that's no surprise.
I know. But again, it's moments like this with Regina's character where she started off as an evil queen, and she knows her mistakes. She makes up for all of her wrongdoings and whatnot. This was another moment where she realized where she was in the wrong, and she goes about making it up.
Yep.
Zelina, on the other hand, has not had those opportunities.
Well, and Zelina, it was an interesting journey with Zelina this episode, and I don't love talking about her, but she had a lot to do with it, so we'll go ahead and talk about her.
Thank you for the support in live chat, you guys.
Are they sending you condolences?
Okay, I'm not okay yet.
Do you have a mailing address that people can send flowers and grievances
AFTERBUZZ TV.
There you go.
There you go. Check it out on the website. There's our address.
But Zelina kind of did this weird flip-flop thing throughout tonight's episode where it was like, yeah, no, I want this, and I want us to be together, and I want what I want. And then it was kind of like, oh no, but I don't want too much. Let's not take it all. Mm-hmm. It's like, really, is this the same woman that was raging war on Oz and being a holy terror to everybody?
I think Zelina was more surprised at the fact because, even at the beginning of the episode, Zelina was always like, we don't have to rule this world of Storybrooke. Let's just be together anywhere and be happy and have love and have each other. And then we see, because Hades is so like power hungry and whatnot, it kind of in a way reminds me of Rumple. Like, love isn't just enough. He has to have X, Y, and Z. He has to have power. He has to have magic, you know, to be a full, fulfilled person. And I felt like Hades was kind of the same way. Like, yes, he has Regina. Sorry, oh my God, not Regina. Yes, he has Zelina, but her love at that moment. And but he also just wants to also rule that kingdom.
Right.
Storybrooke.
He's not
fulfilled.
I don't know why he wants to rule Storybrooke. I don't quite understand that.
The land of the living.
I guess it's better than the
Instead
underworld.
of the land of the dead.
That's true. I don't know. It's just funny to me. Like, Zelina was content to like move to Long Island and
I know.
have more kids.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, yeah, bye, girl.
She's like, we don't need to
Enjoy.
rule.
Let's
we
see if
can
you can
just
cross that
live.
line.
Yeah, right. Seriously, go ahead. Walk right to the edge.
Well,
Let's see what happens.
We know she's been on the other side in New
It's true.
York,
It's
so
true.
like, girl can probably find a way to cross that line with Hades.
Oh yeah.
But I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. But that's not the case.
No.
Because we see this was just so upsetting. Like, we have to get to it, guys.
I know.
I don't know if I can.
Here's the
but-
thing, like, I saw it coming a mile away and it was still upsetting, you know? Like, I knew it when they were having their scene in the basement.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, oh, this is too good. This is everything's
too good to be
everything's
true.
happy, two big makeouts, and then it's like, this is not gonna go well for you.
No, and like, we haven't had an Outlaw Queen scene in forever. Or
Ages.
just like an episode dedicated to Outlaw Queen since like last season.
Yeah.
And the fact that we had like one good scene of them making up, fighting, then making up, making out, everything. But then immediately, and I think every line that Robin was saying, I was like, oh, you are so just jinxing yourself.
You're so dying.
Like,
You're
blind
so
luck?
gonna die.
Blind luck? No, bad luck.
No, there's no blind luck in Once.
And then when when we see Robin and Regina go into the room because they think that, you know, Emma's outside trying to break in, and Zelina and Hades goes out. So when they go into the room and grab Robin's baby at that moment, it's like, everything's okay? No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not okay.
No.
It's not gonna be okay. Well, and so here we finally have this weapon, shall we say, this Olympian crystal. And apparently this is gonna trump all of our other magic, because we've got this thing that now suddenly Hades says, no, this isn't gonna kill you, this is going to end you.
And like a definitive end.
Like, you will not exist anymore. And so what I took away from that is, you won't, if you are victim to this, you won't exist in any realm. So there's no hope, is kind of what I got. Which, we don't do that in Once Upon a Time very often.
No,
It's like
every time you see a death, somehow you always see these characters come
they
back.
always come back.
And
They always come back.
I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I can say it. But we see Robin being very noble, very gentlemanly, and sacrifice himself to save Regina.
Yes.
Steps in front of that. I mean, that was sexy, but that was so not good.
No. And then, so then his body falls to the floor, and then the spirit sort of, we watch it evaporate into nothingness.
We literally see that dramatic shot between
They really
his
milked
face
it.
and her face, and I was like right there with you. I'm like, what?
They really let you have it, Marissa. Like, they let you have it.
I know they let us all have it, and
I know, but it's
can't
just more fun to
take it.
to react to it as if it was just like a personal assault against you. Like, the creators of the show were just like, this is for Marissa.
Yeah, they're literally writing like, oh, Marissa's gonna be like kicking and screaming to the end of the days.
Right?
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I know.
If they don't bring Robin back in the finale, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my shit.
I mean, that's why I'm genuinely concerned, because of that whole, if they hadn't established this sort of definitive moment that like this thing is more powerful than other things that we've dealt with before, I am genuinely concerned.
I don't know. Oh, I had a somewhat of a prediction. I'll say that.
Save that one.
But okay, Robin dies, you guys.
I know. He does.
Robin dies. I mean, did you? Ugh.
The only like bright spot that came out of this,
can't talk.
aside from Lana Parrilla's amazing
Acting.
performance, because
Oh
she
my
just
God.
gave you because let's think about it. I know we don't talk about production much on this show, but like since it's just the two of us,
Yeah.
when you think about an actress in a scene like that, so she's literally staring at a green screen of nothing. Not necessarily a green screen, but she's staring at not his face, like, and watching that
Vanish.
poof thing that we saw that was so heart-wrenching. Like, she's not looking at anything, and so Lana's giving us this full face, and they zoomed in on that extreme close-up.
That
Like, her
was
face
like-
was the entire screen, and I was like, girl, you gotta just go there, and she did. I was like, yes, that is how you... And when you think multiple takes and all that
She
BS...
had the one tear going on.
Oh, she gave a single tear. She gave us, like, I was proud of her.
I mean, Lana Parrilla's just amazing.
Well, she's exquisite. I'm not
She's
surprised, but
everything in the show.
it was a great
I can't say enough. You guys know how much I love Regina. And the fact that I can't formulate my words because my mind's all over the place, you guys. But I really liked Hades as a villain, but I hate him now because he killed Regina's man.
Yeah. I mean, he's in real like bad territory. We have a lot of villains on this show. A lot of levels of villainy.
On my shit list.
He is.
Sorry, you guys. I'm at the point where I'm cursing now.
But yeah, no, I did love though that the whole sort of button of this tragic scene was the concept that true love is a sacrifice, because we've had a lot of like, we throw true love around a lot, and it was like Regina finally definitively saying like, no, true love is sacrifice, period. End of discussion. It's sacrifice.
And Robin's always been a good man.
Oh yeah.
Like, yes, he's a thief, but he's always had great intentions.
Yep.
And the fact that he saved himself for Regina, or he sacrificed himself for Regina, it's like, it's such an... Robin, why do you have to be so good?
I know.
Not that I want Regina to die either.
No, of course not. So taking it to the beat after, what did you think about Zelina's like, oh, okay, I'll go ahead and kill my true love because he's terrible.
My question is, I thought it was good, to answer your question, because it kind of showed a character shift within her. And yeah, we kind of, I mean, Hades, he's a villain. We knew he was going to have to die eventually. But it was just like a matter of how and when. But what my question is, for Zelina, did you enjoy, I shouldn't say enjoy, that's not the best word. But were you surprised by her change of, you know, her... Sorry,
Her priority shift is basically what you're saying.
Yes, pretty much. Like towards Hades, the fact that she wanted to be with him just for love and happiness, and then when she found out that that wasn't enough for him, she turned on him. Did you like this?
I mean, I think that's actually more in her character than not, because I think she saw what her life was going to be if she went down that road, and that he's only going to get worse, not better. And a beating heart doesn't necessarily mean a good person.
True.
So I feel like, but I still think it was a big sacrifice. I kind of think it was, in the end, I think it was the most noble thing Zelina's ever done, to actually sacrifice her kind of shot at happiness, even though we know and she knows it's not going to be perfect by any stretch. But she was willing to like give it up to save her sister. So...
yeah, I know.
Because if she hadn't done it, he would have prodded her until she killed Regina.
Yes.
So it was him or her.
I am seeing some similarities between Zelina and Regina.
She says cautiously
No.
and with much hesitation.
I can't even believe I'm saying this right now. It could be because like my emotions are literally everywhere and I don't
Just
know
raw.
what the hell I'm thinking right now. But it only takes me back to like season 2. Remember when Regina, you know, her man Daniel came back.
Oh.
He was kind of like a zombie in that episode, and he was like losing his ish. But we see Regina at the end of that. She, granted, Daniel was her true love, but she killed him.
Yeah, it's true.
And now we kind of had this moment where Zelina killed her true love of Hades.
Yep, had to make that sacrifice.
I'm seeing a common thread between these two.
I know, and for the first time, the common thread is not like the bad parts of Korra, because usually that was the only thing that united them. Was like, oh well, you definitely have the same mom because you do some crappy things that are similar sometimes.
I know. But and you gotta remember, because like season 2 was where we see Regina trying to redeem herself from a bad person to a good person. So
the Evil Queen apology tour.
I think it was like the start of her character becoming good. This could be the start of Zelena becoming good.
Maybe.
Do you agree with this?
I mean,
Yes?
it's fine. I don't really care because she's not, in my realm of central characters that I'm worried about so specifically. I mean, I get that she's Regina's sister, so it's important, but I don't know if I need a whole half of a season of the Wicked Witch apology tour.
Yeah, me neither.
It's like I don't need them to do Wicked.
It's so hard because like you don't want to be heartless. But you do have to feel for both Regina and Zelena in this moment. They lost both of their men.
They did.
So, yes, heartbreaking for everyone.
Just sisters without their men's is...
Outlaw Queen. I can't. We had it so fast.
This nearly was ours.
And it was taken away from us.
Ripped from our hands.
Zapped from us.
Yep. Poof.
Literally poofed. And then Hades get poofed into dust.
Yes. And then out of that...
Was this a satisfactory death to you?
It was, yeah, because I did love that she stabbed him with it. It was like, you're going down.
Your own
Sorry.
Olympic crystal killed you.
Yes. And I did think it was interesting that Gold pulls this piece of the Olympic crystal out of the dust, and it's like, no, I told you this is my.
I should have. Oh yeah, because we should have
taken my
prefaced that Rumple with his deals wanted to exchange protection for Hades for the Olympic crystal, and yet that didn't work out. Maybe. What do you think would happen if Hades actually did go with that plan?
Oh,
protection.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to imagine that.
That's Rumple's kingdom.
Yeah, there had to have been something shady behind that too. Rumple would have figured it out.
What do you think Rumple's going to use that Olympian crystal for?
I mean, perhaps to regain control. He's still worried about getting Belle back. I don't know how an Olympian crystal could help in that scenario, but maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
Also, my big overarching question with this entire storyline is, if Zeus is the more powerful brother, why didn't he just deal with Hades ages ago?
But it's kind of like when you really dislike your sibling or just a family member that you estrange yourself from them, don't want any connection. So I can see if they're not in a good place, those two, they're not gonna go visit each other.
It's true.
Zeus isn't gonna go down and be like, hey Hades, what's up, brother?
Right.
No, that's not gonna happen.
That's true.
But let's try to go back to a happier moment with Regina and Hook. I mean, we kind of brushed over it a little bit, but it's not meant to be brushed over because when they were in the tunnel, Hook was like, Regina, you are my future. And this was such a good moment. And I was like, yes. Even he wants a future with Regina. We could have seen something.
We could have.
I literally put in my notes, I love it, yes.
Yas. Oh, did you give it? Oh, you gave it a yas. You really did.
And then Regina was like, I am with you always.
I'm with you always.
The best part of this episode.
I know.
Yet to be literally ripped away from us 2 minutes later.
Just taken.
I mean, that's so mean. Writers. It's so mean.
She's not going to get over this one.
I'm not because I can't.
Our other big thread, though, that we haven't talked about yet, is Emma's sort of journey through this episode.
Yes, let's do that.
Which,
Go for it.
Which I found sort of, I thought everybody needed to take a moment because they were all treating her like she was a hysterical mental patient.
Well, she was grieving.
I'm like, she's allowed to be sad.
Mm-hmm.
She's allowed to be upset. And it was literally one thing after another. David's like, you need to grieve. You need to do what other people do. You need to grieve. And then Regina in the next scene was like, you're too emotional. I'm sorry.
Right.
I can't with you right now.
You can't help us because you're emotional. You can't be a part of this.
I was like, could everyone give the girl a moment?
Like, she left her man in Underworld.
And she has saved all y'all how many times?
I know,
like,
right?
give her a sec, please.
I agree.
But she found her way through this grief. And at the almost moment of resolve, the only thing that I was kind of confused about is she asked Mary Margaret for a moment alone at the grave. But then when we panned up, it was Robin's casket that was about to go down.
Yeah.
When Hook came from behind.
Yeah.
So I was like, why did Emma need a moment alone with Robin's casket?
I thought that too, because she went in 2 different locations.
Yeah, well, we saw her at Killian's.
Yeah, we saw her
like,
at Killian's
Tombstone.
Stone, and then went to...
I don't know.
I
Maybe
think
it was
she just needed a moment.
Girl needed a
Despite
moment.
That was in front of Robin's. I mean, we needed a moment between Regina.
I was expecting her to go all Sally Field Steel Magnolias. Like, I'm just so mad.
Oh my god. You're gonna make me cry. Such a good movie.
Just more tears.
I'm an emotional being, you guys.
Sorry, it's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
I can't.
We're gonna get through this together.
That's such a good movie too.
It is such a good
You need
movie.
to watch that.
Yeah, if you really want to break down and cry, watch Steel Magnolias. But yeah, so you know, poor Emma, but she at least got her happy ending in this episode.
Yes, so Hook comes back. She's happy. I'm not.
Right. I mean, she's happy, but she's still
Yeah, but,
grieving
like,
the loss of.
She's like, not all of us are okay.
Yeah.
Robin's not okay. That funeral, that was horrible. That was horrible.
We could have had more. I feel like he deserved more. We could have had like some singing, some wailing, some something.
Something more from Regina. I think she's also in shock, like the rest of us outlaw queens are. But we see the sad moment. Everyone's like putting the bow and arrows, or like the arrows on
the
Robin's. Just milked it.
They really did. They
like
did
they
it to us.
They just tugged at our heartstrings. Oh my god, I can't. I can't say how many times. I literally, I can't think straight. I don't know. My notes are everywhere.
It's all good.
My mind is everywhere. But okay, during this, we see Zelina and Regina. They decide the name of the baby should be Robin.
Yeah.
Did you like this?
The great circle of life. It goes on.
It is. I mean, we had Snow and David's baby named Neil.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
Robin's baby.
The next
named
generation.
Robin. I feel like the second generation gets the same name.
Yeah. Once
It was
upon a
like,
time,
you
the
had
next generation.
Henry Sr., Henry Jr.
Uh-huh.
And then we had Neil Sr., Neil Jr., and now we have Robin Sr., Robin Jr.
It's all very British monarchy, to be honest. Everybody gets
But
names
is
that
it-
are family names.
It's a girl, so
Yeah.
yeah. It was just
But that's cute.
called Robbie.
I mean, Robin's a great female name.
Yeah, it's great. I thought it was sweet. Not good enough for this moment because Robin's still dead.
Right.
But so many people were tweeting me over the weekend about teasers of Robin's death. I tried to, and I just like avoided
Ignored them.
Twitter. I
Yeah.
completely avoided
Yeah.
Twitter. So thanks for the spoilers, you guys.
Oops.
I don't like being spoiled, but I appreciate you guys, reaching out, knowing that I would have some kind of reaction to this, and sure
Yes.
enough, I did.
Continue sending your condolences, please.
Yes, please. I should have wore black, but had I
know.
known.
Right. We weren't prepared.
Next episode, which
We
is our
can have it.
finale, I'll be wearing black for mourning Robin's death.
Indeed.
Anything else? Anything?
I think that covers our tragic journey.
We saw Merida for a quick.
Oh, yeah,
hot
we did
second.
see Merida. Just
She
long enough for
was-
me to bemoan her weave again.
But she played no importance to this episode.
None whatsoever. None whatsoever.
And then we see Maurice comes back
Yeah,
for a hot
Maurice.
second.
Just, Maurice the florist, because he's not an inventor.
Right.
He doesn't come up with things.
Well,
Bitter party of one. He's a florist.
He's a
okay,
florist, but
great.
in the first season, he had his floral shop.
I know.
Don't forget that.
I know. Still was mad then. Mad now.
What was it? Tale as old as time or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
It was a play on words, kind of remind us. I'm trying to remember. I'm going back to season 1.
Right.
But we had Maurice come back for like a minute on screen, not having the best conversation with Rumple.
No.
Because he doesn't even want to wake up his own daughter because he hates Rumple so much.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't want Rumple to win at
I'm
any
not doing
cost.
this
He's
for
like,
you.
I'd rather her be asleep and safe than awaken with you.
I loved his line though. Like, I'd rather her under that spell than under yours.
Yep.
Like,
Bam.
Oh,
Mic
snap.
drop.
oh snap.
Rose drop.
Rose. So good. But yeah, do you think Maurice will come back?
Yeah,
again?
I feel
If
like
they shot that down so fast in this episode, because they said twice, they're like, Maurice needs to be the one to wake her up.
Right.
Then we finally get Maurice, and he says, no, I'm not.
yeah.
Then what other options do they have of waking up Belle?
And then Emma comes in and is like, I need your help. Where have you been? Oh, and then in the next scene, that was a dead end. So I think there's more to that. I don't think we've seen the last of Maurice.
Game of Thorns, thank you guys, in the live.
Game of Thorns, it was called?
Yeah,
I don't
Game
remember
of Thorns.
that.
It was like I remember it was a play on words.
That's hilarious.
Game of Thorns. It is not that show, you guys. But let's be once.
Be once.
Be once upon a time.
Yes, don't pollute the chat roll with your Jon Snow theories.
Let's not. Even though I find it amazing how the name Jon Snow was tweeting more than Once Upon a Time tonight.
Well,
Just crazy world we live in.
that's what...
Obviously, I watched that show, you guys.
Obviously.
Nothing against that show, though.
No.
But yeah, I think that was pretty much it. But all right.
Well, in all of the sadness and the grief, there wasn't much weavage to talk about except for just me being mad at Merida every time she's on screen because I just cannot with that wig. I cannot. But my winner tonight, Once Upon a Weave, officially goes to randomly Cruella. Because there was something about her, and I'm probably just totally biased by the dim lighting and the martini.
And the red light.
God, she just looked fabulous. And finally that bob was like kind of tight again. And I was like, because, it went through a little messy period in the underworld.
It did.
And it was
It's
just
windy in the underworld.
seriously,
So, like, a
but
lot
she
of
was-
times we saw her outside with the wind.
it was blowing. It was a bit of a mess. She's nailing it. Go Cruella, you're back on top. The eyebrows, fleek. Fixed.
Yeah, because you weren't liking her last
I
week's
wasn't.
episode.
I gave her shade, but
Yeah, you did.
Once Upon a Weave is fair. We are nothing if not fair with Once Upon a Weave. So I will give credit where credit's due, and I will throw shade where shade is required.
I love it. Cruella is always just great to watch. Yeah, the one more quick thing, the funeral. I don't know why I'm taking it back to a sad moment.
You're just masochist over there.
I know. I'm an emotional masochist, you guys. But there was a quick, small shot of Roland, like the little Robin's little kid. It just broke my heart.
Yeah.
And I literally put,
thing.
"Oh my god, I can't."
You might want to save these notes.
I should.
they might be scrapbook
If you guys want to read them, you should. Robin's dead, you guys. I can't handle this. They killed Robin. Like, what the hell? No. It's like, well, what? Do you think this will send Regina into, like, a whirlwind spin of going back to evil ways?
Well, shall we?
Does this go to predictions?
I think it does.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Oh, no. Nicholas Kelly in the live chat says Roland is an orphan. That's terrible.
Oh,
true.
it's
That's
true. It's true.
Marion's dead. Robin's dead.
Yeah. Bless
Who's
his
gonna
heart.
take care of Roland? Regina has to.
Yeah, Regina has to. Sorry, Regina, you're a mom again. Congrats.
Regina has to take care of Roland and now Robin, baby.
Baby Robin.
All right. What do you? Well,
All right. Well, they
Thoughts,
gave us this like
predictions.
teaser, like, will this tragedy bring back the evil queen? And I'm like, if it does, I'm fine with that.
I'm
like,
for it.
I'm here for it.
because
Obviously.
we know Regina can come back to good as well.
Yeah. So if Regina wants to get pissed and cast an evil spell, she earned it. honey girl, you work through it how you need to work through it, child.
Everyone grieves in their own way.
Their own way.
In their own way.
Just please don't kill anybody, because it's like hard to defend that.
Right.
But if you want to get angry and do purple smoke and
like,
all that,
destroy buildings
fine.
at the wave of your hand, go
As
for
long
it.
as no one's in them, you work it out, honey.
Because you can always repair that.
Yes.
This reminds me of Buffy. I do have to mention this because
Oh yeah,
it's
we love a good Buffy tie-in.
Yes, because spoiler alert for anyone who still hasn't seen Buffy, what are you doing with your lives?
What are your choices? Reevaluate.
There was an episode where they killed Tara, which was...
Oh yeah.
And then that sent Willow on a shitstorm spiral.
Yep.
She went evil for 4 episodes. Actually, it was 3. She went evil for 3 episodes. Literally killed people, skinned them alive.
Oh.
And,
Let's hope Regina doesn't go that far.
But, you know, like, she had a death in her life, lost complete control, went completely apeshit. And I think if Regina had that moment, it'd be fun to watch. Hard to come back from if she killed people.
Right.
But it's definitely warranted.
Yes. It is.
It's warranted. And Regina, I'll let you grieve. Girl, we're all grieving. Outlaw Queen. Outlaw Queen. Honestly,
We also have to grieve the hashtag.
I know.
Like,
Long live
Outlaw Queen.
last.
Anything
rites.
else? Anything else? Do we think anything else is gonna happen? Because it's weird because with
Belle has to wake up in some.
that's got to be because the loose end now is gold.
I think Rumple, with the Olympian crystal, he's gonna try to figure out a way to revive Belle.
And
But
take
that's
over.
also, I think that kind of went back in my prediction that I think I said I thought I had earlier.
Oh yeah.
I think maybe because Robin sacrificed himself in a good way, like I think that could be like a loophole technicality for something to bring him back because he was a good person.
Right.
Maybe this crystal can, because the crystal killed him. Do you think that crystal has the power to bring him back?
I don't know. Because
Like,
the crystal was
can go both ways.
inside him, so it was like through his heart.
But the thing is, we know the crystal can be restored by magic.
Right, because we saw him do it.
Yeah, it was restored by Hades' magic, or is it just magic in general?
I don't know.
Because if they find a way to restore that wand, and then restore Robin, I'm stretching,
I
you
mean,
guys.
it's
because
okay.
They have to bring back Robin. They cannot kill him. They did, but they cannot.
The anger spikes. It's your
know.
work. You're already working through the grief. We're only like an hour into the
I'm in
grief, and
denial
you're already
right now. I'm in denial and anger
You're
right
moving
now.
towards anger quickly, which is good. That's another stage. We might never get to acceptance, but that's okay. We're gonna just keep working.
No, I'm never gonna get to acceptance because honestly, if they don't bring him back in the 2-hour finale next week's episode, that means we're gonna have to go the whole summer
Without
knowing that Robin is still dead. And if they literally killed him for the whole show in its entirety, because they killed Terry, she never came back on the Buffy show.
Right.
It was like she was dead and gone.
Are you gonna cancel summer?
like
Just
no?
cancel it.
If they don't bring back Robin, I don't know if I could come back.
Oh.
I said it.
Wow.
I don't know if I could keep doing the show.
Fingers crossed.
They don't bring Robin back and reunite my outlaw queen.
That's a Marisa Serafini ultimatum, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, writers, get your shit together so I can.
Well, this has been an eventful discussion.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a very emotional person. I'm a Cancer. I can't help it.
It's all good.
In the meantime, thank you everyone for tuning in, watching. We had like 200 people watching us. So
Awesome. Thanks for going on this emotional journey with us.
Very emotional. What is this? Oh no!
We're just destroying.
Jonathan, you're terrible.
I mean, now just, go watch Beaches and Steel Magnolias. Have a good
I
cry.
love Beaches. I watch Beaches all the time. And I always watch it at 2 a.m., which is like the worst time to watch
terrible. And then you're sobbing.
it. And then I'm
You have
sobbing.
puffy eyes the next morning.
It's like wind beneath my wings, man. But where can everyone keep following me?
You can follow me at Blake McIver across the social medias.
Can't with this music. So mean, Jonathan. Thank you. You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV. Send your condolences. Let me know what you thought. Let us know what you thought. Are you as equally angry about Robin's death as I am?
Let us know.
let us know. I want to know. I really do. And like, I can't wait to read the comments because I'm gonna go ham. But you can follow all of us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun social media platforms at AfterBuzz TV. Thank you all for tuning in. We have a 2-hour finale.
Hooray!
So
I'm very
much
excited.
more to happen.
Yes.
They better bring back Robin. That's all I'm saying. So with that, we'll see you later.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.